The people who don't tend to have a weak point of view or none, and they tend to like share things that people agree with already. They tend to not challenge the status quo in any way, shape, or form. And therefore, they come across as, why the fuck are you here?
You hear a lot about personal brand. I don't really know how that's defined or what it means, but my kind of challenge with it. So we have a Google Ads agency. We work with trades, home improvement businesses. Yep. What's the best way to get started from scratch with developing your own personal brand? And like, how do you find your unique personal brand in an area where it's so saturated with marketing companies? Everyone's kind of doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
that's I'd say is the main kind of question and challenge.
Okay, great start. So I fucking hate the term personal branding. Ed made me use it. No, it's one of those things where you don't start from scratch. You have one already, whether you like it or not, right? So you have a brand already. A brand, to speak about it scientifically, is just a collection of nodes in people's brain, and they associate you with some certain stuff, right? So you already are projecting that. If you have a LinkedIn, if you have clients, you already have a brand. So the key is not to create it from scratch. The key is not to like create an avatar that doesn't look like you, or try to create something out of nothing. It's really to lean on what is already good, what people like, and like triple down on it. Almost caricature yourself, because people are, they don't really care about you. They care about themselves. And so they only have, if they discover you, they might have 3 seconds to see what you're up to. So caricaturing yourself so that they understand what you're about very quickly is kind of where it's at. Does it make sense so far in terms of the difference between, yeah? So then let me try to give you some practical stuff. So the reason why it's important to lean on you as a person is because, again, scientifically speaking, cognitively, humans connect to humans, right? I'm not going to go into the cliche, you know that. So it's also helpful because your personality, who you are, what you project online mostly, is something that's going to stay with you. So even if the business fails, which I don't wish you that, but or if you change career, whatever, it will stay with you, right? Which is also very interesting. So I'm not a personal branding guru, in fact, and it's only recently that I'm starting to use the term, because I've realized that people like us are using that term more than positioning or differentiation. Practically, if I had to pick one very specific thing to do, is to create a point of view. Now, before you roll your eye, I don't mean it in a very fucking bullshitty way that most LinkedIn experts would say. I mean it scientifically, cognitively. So a strong point of view is there to say, I'm here for my specific segment. I'm here to protect them. This is how they're being fucked over by whoever or whatever. And I'm here to like protect them for that reason, right? And it works because it's basically sending long-term signals to your audience by saying, hey, you can trust me. I'm on your side. I'm willing to take some hit in the short term in order to be trusted in the long term, right? In evolutionary biology, it's called continuous probability. And it's like the more you're showing signals to the long term, the more likely you are to be trusted. And this is why you would give stuff for free, because you're taking a hit in the short term to be trusted in the long term. So sharing your point of view is not just a fucking a trend or something that LinkedIn experts talk about and then they'll stop talking about in 2 years. It's genuinely something that is, I believe, is the difference between people who stand out when they talk and when they share stuff and people who don't. The people who don't tend to have a weak point of view or none, and they tend to like share things that people agree with already. They tend to not challenge the status quo in any way, shape, or form. And therefore they come across as, why the fuck are you here? Right? Like, it's like, why are you here? Right? And so this is what, if I had to select the one specific thing right now to be practical, is this: try to really voice that point of view so that it's there to protect your segment and show the long-term signal that you can be trusted.
I think you just actually described the what was it? When people say, give the advice of share value. I think you just broke it down and exactly explained.
Yeah, I fucking hate that as well. Share
means.
value and be different and be yourself and be authentic.
Yeah.
Bullshit. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
so what is very important about a point of view, I might actually share my screen, Ed, if you don't mind, because there's a bit more details on this one. I'm realizing that this specific ingredient of, the way I teach the concept is probably the most impactful, and I probably need to double down on it a bit more. But
I just wanted to say, I think this question applies to everyone here.
Oh, absolutely.
Well. I don't want to take you off on a different tangent. But what would you say if people are scared of showing themselves up by taking a different angle to the masses?
So you're terrified of being the front face of the business. You probably wonder, what will others think of me? Will they approve? What if I say something stupid? So it's about switching that to say you need to be scared of being invisible, not visible, right? Because without visibility, without being seen, you don't get businesses, right? You don't get customers. So it's normal to be afraid, but do things afraid, It's like, I think to know that the butterfly in your stomach and this fear of like, what if that happens, whatever, that's normal. I still get it. Everyone gets it, right? So do it, but scared. And the second point is, you probably think, I don't want to make enemies. Like, that sounds like very aggressive. I don't want to be aggressive like you. That's not what I'm saying. So a point of view is there to protect your segment. It's a very generous and empathetic way to say, I'm here for you. The more specific your segment, the easier it is to have a strong point of view, right? And so, if you don't want to make enemies, that's not the point. I could count on one hand the number of times I got hate mail or anything like that, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone hates marketers, standing the fuck out. All of those ideas are there to help people like us, right? They're not there to shit on other people. So if you really speak to your segment and have a valid point of view, you have nothing to worry about. So the key is to fear indifference, not obscurity. And it's just to be consistent. Like Ed mentioned, my daily email, it took me 7 years to get to the point of being able to do that, right? So it's about doing things, seeing what sticks, do it all over again. And then you'll start to develop this sense of like, what is spicy, what is not. Like, when I say that, is it something that lands or it doesn't?
Beautiful. Thank you. I'll shut up now and let